when I first heard about Twitch, I thought it was like a complete esports thing. Thought it was League of Legends and Counter-Strike and that kind of stuff. So a little bit later, when one of my guildies was like, hey, there's this game called Defiance out, will you stream it? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, no, I know you have Defiance. I want to see it. I want to see if I want to buy it. So can you stream it and I'll watch it and then I'll decide if I want to buy it. As people started coming in from my guild, I had like 10 viewers. I'm talking to them. Oh, this is kind of cool. I'm playing the game, talking to my guildies. They can hear my voice. That's fun. Didn't even have a camera. I was using like a $3 Walmart mic. I'm sitting here like, this is really cool. This is kind of fun. And I remember someone in my chat at the time, I think they said something like, oh yeah, Cohh's going to be the next lethal frag. I was like, who?
Frag, yep.
I was like, who's that? So one of the first couple days I kind of logged off and I was like, let me really look around. Let me see what this is. And then that day I found like Towley and Dan's Gaming and Lethal Frag, because that was the first channel I went to. Someone kind of mentioned him. And I realized like, wait a second, I had like, I think 40 people watching me. This guy has 3,000 people. And then I was like, I remember at one point, I think I typed to one of them, I was like, is this your full-time job? Like, do you do this all the time? I believe it was right around the time that Frag was doing his 2-year challenge. And he was like, oh yeah,
I remember that.
Like every day for 2 years, it's going good. And that was the moment when I was just like, oh, like this exists. Mm-hmm. This is real. It's not just esports. Like I can do this. And that was when that started kind of like, it was interesting because I inadvertently at the very start of my Twitch career had a huge amount of success. I had 250 viewers at the end of my first week, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And I had no idea why it was succeeding so well at the time. I thought I won. It's like, oh great, this is my job now, everything's good. And the next 3 months were spent every day having less viewers than the day before, until eventually on the last day I was playing my favorite game, Deus Ex, with like 27 people. I streamed for about 14 hours straight, and I lost followers throughout the stream. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, this whole thing fell apart. It's not going to work. So I have two options. I either need to move on, kind of like I had done, focus back on my game dev, do all that kind of stuff, or I need to fundamentally change my approach to this whole Twitch thing. Because a lot of people say, oh, to succeed on Twitch, you just get lucky. Well, no, you don't just get lucky. You just get lucky when you got successful and you don't understand why it happened. It's kind of messes with your mind sometimes as a streamer to not see growth, but to understand the metrics is huge. It's one of the reasons I try to preach to streamers. There's this kind of streaming cultural thing where it's like good not to look at your numbers. My counter argument to them is don't do that. That's a band-aid. What you need to do is you need to fundamentally get comfortable with those numbers. And then you need to take those numbers and you need to utilize them to make them bigger. Because by just hiding all that stuff, you're depriving yourself of incredibly important information that could tell you, hey, there's 3 games I want to play right now. One of them is doing really well on Twitch. The one I'm playing now is really not, but I'm not looking at my numbers. So even though I have a great time playing that other game, and if I switch now, I'd be on the top of the directory and get all the new viewers for it. I'm not looking at my numbers. So I don't know that I'm getting 50% less than my average playing this right now. What I've boiled it all down to for streamers is we essentially have a triangle. And on one point, it's what game do I have fun playing? And then the second point is, how is this going to be for my channel? And then the third point is, like, how much do I need to work to get to a point where this would actually be beneficial to me? And as a streamer, it is your job to get in the exact middle of that triangle every time. That's the goal. When I first started streaming, I very much was just like, I'm just going to play games people watch. That's great. I did that for a while, and the whole thing fell apart because I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't understand why I was successful at the beginning. I didn't understand why I failed over the following 3 months. And when I reinvented my channel is when I really fundamentally realized I get to make this world and I can make it however I want. So I said, okay, I want to always want to smile. I want people to be nice to each other. I want people to have discussions. And if they have counterpoints or get into an argument, they can solve it civilly. I want people to come in and say hi and have 10 people say hi back to them because they're all regulars and they're all the time. I want to be nice to them. I want to respect them. I want them to be nice. I want them to respect me. And I realized that, that's not a pipe dream on the internet. I have all the tools to make that happen. I can bring in people from the community that want to facilitate that. And that's what I've been doing for 10 years. And now here we are 10 years later, and I'm one of the largest moderated chats on Twitch. And every day when I log in, I say hi. I've got a custom program that everyone says hi for the first time they go on a list. I see the same names I've seen in some cases every day for 10 years. We're hanging out in the morning, we're saying hi, I'm drinking my coffee, we're catching up on news, and then we all just start playing a game. And for me, it's kind of like, I grew up in situations where some of my favorite hangout times were me and a bunch of buddies in a room. But are we talking, interacting, and playing? No, he's watching TV, I'm on my laptop, he's on his computer over there, and we're all just existing together and having a good time.
I wish you could preserve those moments of life for forever to some degree,
Right?
when you can just be at the age when everyone's doing their own thing and you're all just like still, it's almost like a salon where you can have free ideas. People are kind of like all doing their own thing, but you're there together.
That's Twitch.